We had an incredible month in the world of AI, but last week was insane. But let's analyze what's going on. Because almost every quarter we have this new model coming out. Okay, and we had an incredible amount of model coming out from the open source community, including Gemma 4, which 4 different models, Qwen 3.6, extremely amazing, with a lot of different models for different kind of size of computer, but also we had last week coming out DeepSeek version 4 Pro and Flash version. We're talking about trillion parameters, 1.6 trillion parameters. So we are talking about frontier model AI. But what was funny last week was that we had Opus 4.7 coming out. Okay, this was really expected to be the best AI ever. Okay, people were talking about this is probably the closest thing to AGI. This is gonna be amazing, gonna change everything, game changer. Everyone was pushing about this thing. Now we have this Opus 4.7, the best model out there. Okay, full stop. Nobody can compare to this one. 4 days later, ChatGPT 5.5 came out and it smashed it. Okay, that is what I find funny. What is insane, okay, that Anthropic is being pushed on this narrative of boutique, super powerful AI that, you know, you need to pay premium much more than others, but you're gonna have something that only Anthropic can offer. Okay, that was their narrative. That's how they justify such expensive model. But now GPT 5.5 is more powerful and it's faster and it's cheaper. Let me explain, because the cheaper part is a little bit more complicated. So we have, in the case of GPT 5.5, a model that actually is optimized. So use less than half of the token of the previous version of ChatGPT. So GPT 5.4 used to cost $15 per 1 million token, and now we have $30 per 1 million token, but require less than half to achieve the same or even better result than before. Therefore, it's cheaper. Okay, while Opus, $25 per 1 million token, but with the new version compared to the older one, they really recommend to use an extra thinking, okay? Not just, you know, there is different level of thinking, extra high thinking. That means it actually need to use more token than before, therefore it's more expensive of the previous version. Then we have DeepSeek, okay? Comparable result on different benchmarks. Sometimes it's really same level, sometimes a little bit higher, most of the time it's lower, but it's comparable at $3.48. Now, an eighth of the price. Okay, that is insane. So now the discussion becomes much more complex, because it's not just open source, it's not that it's 8 times cheaper, but it also can run on a local machine if, of course, you have the budget to have a really powerful machine. And when I say powerful, we're talking probably $25,000 upwards, and more likely 50 plus, okay, to run such a powerful model locally. But when you have locally, now you have total sovereignty. You have not problem of token cost, but you have an AI that can run 24/7 on that machine, so unlimited token basically, and you can have not one instance of the AI running locally, but several instances running locally of the same machine. So compare now the prices really become complex. And there is another element. Okay, for some corporation, there is no other options. In the sense, for some businesses, the data of their client or their own data cannot leave the premises. Okay, so on some specific research, on some specific work with law, education, health, and financial advice, all those things, sometimes they need to have their data of their clients or their own data never leave the system. So it must run locally. And now DeepSeek version 4 Pro is the best model. It's expensive, but it's not that crazy expensive, okay? A corporation can afford it. But for us, it's much more complex, okay? Because for us, we need to understand what are we paying for. So in the case of GPT and Opus, if we run their app, so through the subscription, then the cost of token is much cheaper than the one from API. And that is what most people are doing. And this is how those corporations are pushing to use their own environment, because they want you to be locked inside their services. And to lock it, they give you a software that is amazing software that only run with their model and only run cheaply through their subscription. So if now you use GPT 5.5, okay, that we said $30 per 1 million token through their subscription, now the price is not the same. Okay, it's going to be much cheaper. We don't know how much token we get from those subscription, but it's going to be much cheaper than through API. But there is another element to consider. Okay, so let's make this example. Okay, so we have ChatGPT 5.5 running, building a software for us. Okay, a video game, simple video game. We give a really extensive prompt. We describe the video game. We ask it to build it. Okay, one single shot. So the first output is, let's say that it built the 50% of the game. Okay, so the game works. It looks nice. The dynamic is there, but it's not perfect. I need to have more interaction with this model to achieve something that I really like. Okay, so but the first prompt give us 50%. Now let's say the Opus, which is a little bit less than GPT 5.5, what it needs for the first prompt, it doesn't give me 50%. It will give me maybe 45% of the output. So what I need to interact with it. Okay, so I will need in long term more interaction with Opus than I need with GPT. That means the price also become more expensive because I need to work more. Now, if we go into the DeepSeek, that is the least powerful of them, okay, and therefore it's not like a couple of interaction. Probably need 4, 5, 6, 10 interaction to achieve the same thing that I used to achieve with GPT 5.5. And now the cost, therefore, is not so direct, it's not so simple. Okay, because just to give an example, let's say I need to do 10 times the interaction. Okay, so these virtually these $3.48 per million token times 5, it's much more expensive. Times 10, it's over the cost of GPT. So the math is, I'm trying to simplify, but that is the concept, okay? It's not just the cost of the token, but it's also how that token is intelligent. How many tokens you need to achieve the same result. At the moment, GPT 5.5 gives you this, okay? And therefore, it's clearly better. But like I said, the game doesn't end there. It's better because it's faster, it's better because each token is more intelligent, and therefore I spend less money. And that is good for us. So for a normal user, say, okay, I got the GPT $20 a month subscription. You have access to the most powerful AI that does incredible images, because now also the model for doing images came out and is the best model. So they have the best of the best for $20 a month. Hard to beat something like this. Unless for you, your sovereignty, having your data protected, running on your machine, is something that you must have. Also, another thing to understand, in most scenarios, okay, the AI output between those three models, and by even smaller one, is exactly the same. Because your ability to prompt the AI is what makes the difference. So if you give a really good prompt to answer a specific email, then the output for that email between those frontier models, but even smaller models, okay, cloud or local, is going to be good enough. Okay, that is what we need to understand. That sometimes what we need is not the top frontier model, okay, and sometimes though it's still convenient doing it. So what I'm saying is not just I want to create confusion in your mind, okay? It's understanding what is the right thing for you. So what are the options? Cloud versus local. Okay, local means you own the hardware, but the hardware can be from your mobile phone to tens of thousands of dollars. So it's about understanding which model is the best one for you. What is the level where you say, this is enough for me? Okay, and when you say, okay, this is enough for me for this specific work, and then for this other work I need something different. So what I'm suggesting, how I work by myself is a hybrid solution. Okay, I'm pushing and I want to move towards total local AI. Okay, as early as possible, as much as possible, and that is my journey. Okay, because I want total sovereignty, total control, and I want one AI that I can trust. Okay, and I don't trust any corporate corporate AI. So my journey is to go to that direction. The problem if you're here is you agree on this journey. So the hybrid solution, why? Because sometimes I want to use those super powerful AI and access this at the moment is not too expensive. At the moment we still can afford because those corporations are willing to give us those AI model for a discount through their subscription. So you have a subscription on $20, you actually get access to extremely powerful AI and a lot of token for the price. So the deal at the moment is on our side. Why is like this? Because they want to capture us, okay? They want to make us always work with the system, and then at one point they can raise the price, and for us moving away is gonna be too complicated. And most people, we know that is the path, okay? Most people will use whatever corporation is gonna offer, okay? They're gonna go for the least friction, easy path that everybody says, this is the best, they're gonna follow, that direction. For people that instead want to think a little bit more, they say, okay, there is alternatives, and these alternatives is something that we have to build over time. So now, talking about building over time, what we should build, what I'm building with my community, which I think you should join. So let me explain these alternatives. So the alternative here is to have an hybrid solution that, whenever it's possible, should run 100% locally. The alternative is to build one AI that we can trust with a memory that run locally. So what I'm building is called Resonant OS. Okay, is an operation system for AI. And this, I'm building the new version, okay? This new version that is going to come out hopefully really soon. What it has is an internal AI that is extremely simple. It's like similar to, for example, let's say ChatGPT, okay? So it's an AI that it's simple to use, doesn't do incredible stuff, okay? In the sense can only mainly answer to you, but has access to a really advanced memory and knowledge. So I have a memory and knowledge base that really run locally, really well optimized, and that can improve itself, okay? So get updated automatically and so on. So now we have an AI that we can connect whatever model to it, from local to cloud, whatever we want, but we are sovereign with our data. Okay, that simple model is something that we can trust. It's always there. It's always available. Okay, that is the first step. Having something that can help me with whatever simple work available. Okay, when I say simple, means I'm talking about action, the agentic part. Okay, the agentic part is not there. Why is not there? Because we can leverage through that one other agentic AI, like for example Hermes, OpenClaw. Those agentic AI can be added as add-ons to ResonantOS. Why this architecture? Because there are going to be more and more coming out. Okay, better, you might be like Hermes, maybe that person like OpenClaw, maybe some person is building their own. So the idea here is to have add-ons that we can turn on and off, test, and see if we like that one more than another, having more than one running simultaneously, but having at least one AI that fully understands us and can work at this high level, intellectual level with us. We can trust it, is there, aligned with us. Then there is another agent within ResonantOS. This agent instead is agentic, and the job is to be the engineer. Okay, it's the one that fixes the system if it gets broken. If you've been working with OpenClaw, you know that every every few hours, okay, every few days, it somehow go down for whatever reason. Now it's getting more stable and stable, but it's it gave us a lot of trouble. Okay, so a lot of people will think, okay, let's have Hermes be the AI that fix OpenClaw. Not always works. Hermes also can break, it can go offline, and it's a waste of actually an agent in somehow, just to look after another agent. But if we have an engineer, okay, this agent is dedicated to actually work on every part of this Resonant OS and every other add-ons. Okay, the job is to keep it stable. If breaks, the AI needs to go there and fix it. So an AI that we can trust again, but from the engineering point of view. So there are two things: the Augmentor, the brain, okay, the philosopher, the high-level thinking that can help us from writing email to do, I don't know, whatever challenge thinking process that we need to go through. And then there is the engineer that keeps the system always working. To AI, we can trust them, and we are in a safe scenario. Now we can use other systems inside as an add-on: Hermes, OpenClaw, OpenCode, but even other software like Obsidian. Okay, everything that open source can be added and work within the system. This gives us a extremely stable infrastructure, something that we can build it on. So if something comes out, we can add it as an add-on. And most importantly, this is owned by the community. Okay, so if you join the community, you become a co-owner of Resonant OS. Okay, you can build add-ons, you can improve it, you can become part of this community that builds a product. We need one, we don't need hundreds, but this one can be customized in the direction that you want. Okay, that is the beauty. So now we have an alternative, a solid alternative to the corporate AI. We have something that is we can control, we can connect it from cloud solution, DeepSeek, Opus, whatever it is, through API, and local model that we can run on our machine. That is what we are building. And so if you're interested, we have a community Discord link. There is a deep dive article about what I'm being explained today, link in the description. And we do weekly call, a few days, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we meet with the community and we discuss. So join the Discord community so you can get in touch, share your experience. Let's build this together. Thanks for staying until the end, and watch the next video. Ciao.